The drop. The forest floor rushed up fast. 12 alien students tumbled out of the transport pod in a tangle of limbs, antennae, and muffled screams. The pod shot back into the gray morning sky before anyone could protest. Cadet Vreel, a lanky Myrathan with 4 arms and iridescent blue skin, landed hard on a bed of pine needles and immediately checked his survival pack. Empty. By design. "This is illegal," hissed Sova, a Pelian girl whose feathered crest fanned out in alarm. "The Interplanetary Academy cannot legally abandon us in an uncontrolled biosphere." "They just did," said Vreel. The 12 cadets stood in silence, staring at the towering earth trees surrounding them. Dense canopy blocked the sky. Something in the underbrush rustled. The temperature was dropping. Then their communicators crackled. "Welcome to Survival Module 7. You have 6 hours to construct adequate shelter before tonight's storm front arrives. Failure means a full academic repeat." "Good luck." The line went dead. Sova's crest flattened against her skull. "We are going to fail." The problem. The cadets had studied Earth theoretically. They knew the planet's atmospheric composition, its gravitational coefficient, its dominant species. What no textbook had prepared them for was the smell of wet soil, the sting of cold air, or the utter uselessness of their 4 collective engineering degrees when faced with actual trees. Vreel pressed his palm against the bark of a towering oak. His scanner read, organic, dense, non-responsive. "We need to build upward," he announced. "Ground-level shelter is inefficient against large predators." "There are no large predators in this zone," said Daxon, a stocky Gorvian, scrolling through his data pad. "The scanner says otherwise." Vreel pointed. 40 meters away, a large brown bear ambled between the trees, utterly indifferent to them. Everyone moved closer together. Sova pulled up schematics on her pad, theoretical Earth shelters, blueprints, historical structures. She projected a model of a treehouse into the air. We need this. That would take 2 days minimum," said Vreel. "For us," Sova said quietly. Vreel understood what she meant. "We need the human." The human. Marcus Webb had been assigned as their cultural integration observer, basically a chaperone the Academy had quietly included on the manifest. He'd been sitting on a log, whittling a stick with a pocket knife, watching the aliens argue for 23 minutes. He was 19 years old, wore a flannel shirt, and had grown up on 40 acres of woodland in rural Montana. "You guys done?" he asked. Vreel turned. "Can you build a treehouse?" Marcus squinted up at the oak. He walked its perimeter, knocked on the trunk twice, tested a low branch with his full body weight, and looked at the canopy. "Yeah," he said. 6 hours, easy. Maybe 5. Sova stared at him. "You haven't even calculated load distribution." Marcus tapped his temple. "Already did." He snapped the stick he'd been whittling into a sharp point and drove it into the ground to mark north. "First things first, we need tools. Give me every piece of metal in your gear. Buckles, clasps, frame rods. All of it." The build. What followed was the most educational experience of the cadets' academic careers, and none of it was in the curriculum. Marcus moved through the forest like he was the forest. He selected 3 trees forming a natural triangle, assessed their root depth by kicking the earth, and chose the thickest oak as the primary anchor. He lashed the cadets' frame rods together with stripped bark cord, constructing a platform base that distributed weight across 2 branches. He taught Vreel to split timber using a flat rock and a sharp edge. He showed Daxon how to weave pine branches into weatherproof panels. Sova, who had 4 functioning fingers and a mind for geometry, became his most valuable assistant, calculating angles while Marcus made instinctive cuts. The bear came close once. Marcus looked at it. The bear left. "How did you do that?" Silva whispered. "Eye contact," he said, already climbing. By hour 4, the platform was solid. By hour 5, the walls were up. By the time the first fat raindrops hit the canopy, 12 alien cadets and 1 human were sitting dry and warm, 6 meters above the forest floor, watching lightning split the horizon. The debrief. Sova updated her field report in silence, then looked at Marcus. "You didn't panic once," she said. It sounded almost like an accusation. Marcus shrugged. "Panicking's expensive. Takes energy you need for the work." Vreel folded all 4 arms thoughtfully. "We have studied 216 civilizations. None of them build the way humans build, from instinct, not instruction. That's because we've been failing at survival for 100,000 years," Marcus said. "We got good at it." Outside, the storm roared. Inside, it was warm and dry and solid. Sova added one final line to her report. "Recommend mandatory human field integration for all future survival modules. Academic theory insufficient. Observe the human first."